Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's finally upon us, the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and this time, not the pre-show like the last show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight, ECW's main event for the East Championship. Braun Strowman, he challenges Minoru Suzuki. This is Strowman's second opportunity at the East Championship. Can he prevail this time, unlike the whole Sin pay-per-view thing? And AJ Styles defends the WWE Championship against CM Punk and Sami Zayn. That is Raw's main event. Will Styles' unstoppable WWE title run finally come to an end, and the main event of SummerSlam, the King of the Ring winner Cesaro, he takes on World Heavyweight Champion Aleister Black, along with no more contender once again, Dolph Ziggler. This is Ziggler's rematch clause for the World Heavyweight Championship, but the odds are stacked for the champions Aleister Black and AJ Styles, as both of them defend the titles against two other men. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Raw brings you your first contest of SummerSlam, and that is Magnus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, a couple weeks back on Raw, like multiple weeks, we did have Magnus attack Nakamura backstage. Nakamura there then called out Magnus. Magnus did not answer, and then after that we did have some more couple of confrontations between Nakamura and Magnus before the climax of their matchup here at SummerSlam tonight. To kick off the show, ladies and gentlemen, earlier on tonight we had pre-show, the SummerSlam pre-show. Of course, watch that if you guys have not watched it yet. So watch the pre-show before actually watching this regular show, because that makes sense. Anyway, now Magnus snaps suplex to Nakamura. And now Magnus here looking to get a victory as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Magnus, he has been doing all that well. He did have an open challenge at the Sealed Fate pay-per-view, which was back in week 12. The one who answered that open challenge was Shinsuke Nakamura, and Nakamura, he won in a pretty quick fashion against Magnus. So ever since then, Magnus, he just hasn't liked Nakamura, attacked him backstage. Multiple confrontations between these two men, ones in which Magnus has prevailed, ones in which Nakamura has prevailed. Well, we have the final confrontation here tonight between Nakamura and Magnus here at SummerSlam, as this is their second meeting. First one, of course, for Magnus' open challenge at the Sealed Fate pay-per-view. And well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, main events here tonight for SummerSlam, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line in a triple threat. Ladies and gentlemen, the way that has came along, of course, back for the SmackDown exclusive Bound for Glory pay-per-view, Dolph Ziggler challenged Aleister Black for the World Heavyweight Championship. Since Ziggler was number one contender, he won that number one contender's opportunity in week 8 against Ryback at the Live from the MSG pay-per-view. And then a couple weeks after that, in like week 13 or so, the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, Ziggler lost to Aleister Black. And then along that time, Cesaro, he won the King of the Ring tournament for SmackDown, who are, of course, won the King of the Ring tournament main event SummerSlam, so that's why SmackDown has the main event here tonight. And Ziggler, he uses his rematch clause against Aleister Black, and he decided to use it at the same time in which Cesaro would challenge either Ziggler or Black. So therefore, it's a triple threat. Ziggler, perhaps not the wisest of moves. Of course, he could have had a rematch with Aleister Black anytime he wanted to. He decided SummerSlam, which was the one time in which anyone else would be involved. That anyone else is Cesaro. And of course, they should triple threat for the Third Day Championship, which is Raw's main event, just before SmackDown's main event and the main event SummerSlam. So Raw, they will be the second to last matchup. Third Day Championship, AJ Styles defense versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, not gonna lie, I completely forgot how CM Punk became number one contender. I really did. And then Sami Zayn, he also... Oh yeah, right. I remember, never mind. Of course, AJ Styles, for like multiple weeks, he held the AJ Styles non-title open challenge, where whoever would defeat Styles in the non-title open challenge will later then face off against Styles at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. The two men to defeat Styles in the non-title open challenge was CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's only opportunity was at the King of the Ring tournament, in which he lost in the semifinals. Zayn was, of course, devastated after that, but then he later had an opportunity in which he answered Styles' open challenge, and luckily enough defeated him. So therefore, those are the only two men to actually defeat Styles, out of many other competitors, including ones such as Ricochet, Ken Shamrock, and I believe some other men as well, like Apollo Crews, I believe, also answered the challenge. So some have failed, and only two prevailed against Styles. And finally, the ECW Championship, which will be the third and last matchup. Of course, this is Braun Strowman's rematch clause. When he originally faced off against Minoru Suzuki, he won a number one contenders matchup against Daniel Bryan, and then he faced off against Suzuki at the Sin ECW exclusive pay-per-view. Strowman lost against Suzuki. Suzuki, the first man to defeat Braun Strowman. And well, Strowman, he decides to cash in his rematch clause here tonight at SummerSlam. So many weeks building up for this matchup between Strowman and Suzuki. And well, that's later on tonight as we can now continue here so far. Nakamura and Magnus surprisingly going way longer than I expected here because the original matchup, Magnus got squashed in his own open challenge. But now Magnus, of course, perhaps a different game plan, a different mindset, looking to prevail against Nakamura. You gotta think here, because both of these two men aren't really a big part of Raw. Magnus, he's just occasionally there, occasionally not. Nakamura, well, he was a big part of Raw in the beginning of Universe Mode when he had a whole tag team matchup with Styles against Undertaker and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction. But then it was like, sadly, after that whole program, Nakamura, he just like went off into the distance, wasn't all that much of a main persona. Instead, it was people like Styles, Punk, Reigns, and Lashley. And after that, Roman Reigns by Lashley, they soon left the top picture. Then after that, it was just, Styles and Punk. And now currently, Sami Zayn. Of course, Zayn was originally in the WWE top picture before Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley came along, but it's like once Reigns and Lashley left, Zayn went back to the top picture. Cedric Magnus barely kicking out at 2, as I guess I should continue just announcing this matchup because, again, off track here, Nakamura's favorite for Lalok. Rope break there. Of course, Magnus, imagine how much of a big victory this would be for him. Just prevailing against Nakamura will be a huge victory for Magnus, to be fair, because, of course, he lost to Nakamura in a very quick matchup, in quick fashion. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Magnus picks up victory here. We will perhaps never hear the end of it, but we'll be tied 1-1 apiece if Magnus does win here tonight. And if Nakamura wins, it's just more momentum for the King of Strong Style. See right there, Nakamura nails the elbow drop to Magnus, and now just an armbar on the outside here, countouts. Well, if Nakamura and Magnus win by countout, I guess a win is a win either way. Same like what happened earlier on today in the pre-show between Ricochet and Marty Scurll for the X Division Championship. Of course, Ricochet, he retained his championship via countout, which was surprising from Ricochet. We usually don't see him use all that much tactics like that, but, well, he got a countout victory against Scurll. Very questionable, but not else to say. Ricochet's still champion. And now Nakamura, waiting for Magnus to get back inside the ring, just chops him right to the chest, or like, perhaps even the mouth there. Somewhat of the face, I believe. Magnus, he is holding onto his face, so I think that chop was actually perhaps to the mouth. Magnus with a rope break there. Now Magnus trying to gain the upper hand here. Bye suplex by Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of Strong Style, on a hot streak here. If he wins this matchup, perhaps, gets closer for rankings, for the Intercontinental Championship, for, even the WWE Championship, perhaps. But at this point, with Nakamura's current status, along with Magnus, whoever wins this matchup, perhaps get closer for the Intercontinental Championship, to be fair. Anyway, now, Nakamura off the half-leg crab for a couple seconds. And now kick right to the back of Magnus. And Will just kicks up and then hits Magnus across the back there. That was effective. But Nakamura off the top of the rope, nails a dropkick Magnus. Well, things are looking like the Sealed Fate pay-per-view from week 12. Now, because Magnus not doing all that well, but he gets just gorilla press slam towards his troubles to the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not working out too well here in the favor of Magnus here against Shinsuke Nakamura. And as you see, Magnus not doing all that well here. Armbar on the outside, and I just noticed that the arena this is not the beach arena. In the pre-show, we had the beach arena, so later on, yeah, it's noticed, because in like the next match or the third matchup, it does have the beach arena once again. So this is a little time mistake. Don't notice it, please, because anyway, full nose suplex by Nakamura to Magnus inside the ring. Nakamura top of the rope, misses the dropkick though. Magnus just giving out there, just like falling, crumbling down. Coincidentally, at the same time, Nakamura did the dropkick. Not sure if that was intentional or not, though. Well, this is a completely different arena. Instead of this being the whole beach arena, this is, a whole New York City type arena. Which is why we're going to have to change this in like the second or third matchup. I can't remember which matchup I changed this in. Either in the next matchup or third matchup, I change it. And then it shall stay in the beach arena. After that. I don't know. Hopefully. Anyway, now Magnus brings Nakamura back inside the ring. Now takes him to a ring apron here. This matchup is going on for I don't even know how long now. But ladies and gentlemen, this matchup is going way longer than I expected. Not gonna lie. Magnus He's prevailing here. He's giving his all, or Nakamura is just playing with him here. He's just playing with his food. But we shall see here as Nakamura off top rope nails dropkick straight to the face. Pinpoint accuracy right to the face of Magnus. Now with the kick up here, Magnus, he is hurt, holding onto his arm there. Shinsuke could easily end up this match if he wants to, I believe. And now, well, another dropkick right to the face. This does not help out Magnus' case at all here, ladies and gentlemen. Magnus trying to look for an upper hand here. He's not getting the best of it, though. Punch right to the face this time. Figure 4 lock on the ring apron, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is not going on well. Of course, they show next matchup will be for SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The New Day, they challenge DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. Well, we don't know which members of the New Day. Of course, if the New Day is to win the SmackDown Tag Titles, well, then the Freebird rules apply. For example, it could be Kingston and Xavier, Xavier and Big E, or Kingston and Big E. And it doesn't matter. It could just easily switch around those 3 men for the tag titles. Anyway, now Magnus, well, he's getting taken down before his troubles. Magnus trying to fight, which I will give him credit for that. He is bringing up his all here. Very resilient against Nakamura here, but how long can that last? Figure 4, well, not figure 4. Have like crap. Magnus escaping it, though. Nakamura, perhaps thinking of another dropkick, though, but he has spammed Magnus with a whole lot of those throughout this matchup. Magnus just needs one good maneuver to switch the tables, turn the tables here against Nakamura, and that could perhaps help him out. I see her there, chop to the chest, or chop to the face. Face cutter by Nakamura out of nowhere. And now on top of the rope is Nakamura elbow drop right to Magnus. 2 and 3, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, finally, Nakamura finished playing with his food, and he finally just pulls the trigger on the horse, so to speak. Nakamura has defeated Magnus in somewhat dominant fashion for like a whole, 9, 10, 11 minute matchup. Well, Magnus is very resilient, I guess, but not necessarily. Time for a SmackDown Tag Team Championship matchup. Wow, Nakamura picks up a victory, but anyway, time for a more important matchup here, and apparently it's Xavier Woods and Big E taking on Shawn Michaels and Triple H for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Apparently it's Big E and Triple H to kick things off as well. Big E with a choke slam, well, not choke slam, but choke hold on Triple H. Triple H countering. Now a couple strikes here to Big E. Well, nailing a whole lot of those. Sunset flip here. Well, so far, a hot start to the matchup. But now Big E has Triple H up, takes him down with the inverted tower drop, or at least a backwards one. Tags in Xavier Woods. And now tags from the New Day already. Surprisingly, Xavier Woods off the assisted Irish whip. Nails his Lotus Express. Triple H not doing that well here. Is the New Day with the upper hand. And now Xavier Woods with a double axe handle. Bye-bye. Triple H to the outside. Let's see right here. Now we have to beat Arena. So the first matchup was a mistake. I'm not going to redo it, though. Final result. Anyway, now Xavier Woods, couple strikes here. Triple H grabs him. And now power driver by Xavier Woods to the game. The King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin. Triple H of the Generation X. Of course, the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. As you see right there, Big E throwing Triple H to the outside ring. DX, they did win those titles back in week 6 of the SmackDown exclusive No Surrender pay-per-view, in which it was against Rhino and Slater for the vacant SmackDown Tag Team Championships. DX, they've been holding the titles ever since, so they've been holding it for 14 weeks now, because we're up to week 20 after SummerSlam pay-per-view. We will be in week 21, where the first thing kicks off with, the first things of week 21, it kicks off with Raw week 21, where before that, at least the Raw pre-show Heat. So anyway, now Triple H taking Big E down. And Triple H getting sent to the outside of the ring by Xavier Woods. Somewhat from a botched tombstone powerbomb or some sort, or a botched shoulder breaker. And now Michaels and Xavier Woods on the outside. Triple H now, he gets the break. Now getting back to the outside of the ring here. Both Triple H and Michaels against Xavier Woods here. Big E just watching on. Big E perhaps staying or something, I don't know here, but now we go back to a 1-1 action here between Triple H and Xavier Woods. Big E and Michaels not doing anything, surprisingly. Or now Michaels going back to the outside. Or not. Okay, this is getting confusing here. And now Xavier Woods direct handle to Triple H. Off the top of the rope perhaps. And yes, elbow drop to Triple H. But now, this is complete chaos to be fair. Xavier Woods just went to our table. Now Triple H, Xavier Woods. Well, this matchup mainly getting out of hand here, I guess you could say. I don't even know how to properly just do my commentary on this. To be fair, neckbreaker by the game to Xavier Woods here. And now just mounted punches. The chair luckily censoring it because it's brutal. I don't know. Yeah, this matchup has completely lost control. Well, anyway, third matchup later on. After this one, ECW. It's time for them to showcase their talents, their extreme talents. And well, as shown, Finn Balor and Corey Graves. That rivalry has been brewing for a longer period of time, longer period of weeks, compared to Nakamura and Magnus, I believe, or an equal period of time. And if it has been an equal period of time, well then I guess it's been more serious. Multiple one-on-one matches between Balor and Graves. Balor has only won 1 or 2. Graves has won the rest. It all started back when Corey Graves did an impromptu matchup. He actually stood Jermaine Paul Heyman for an impromptu matchup at the ECW exclusive Sin pay-per-view back in like week 13, and it turned out to be an open challenge as well. There's one thing, unlike the Nakamura and Magnus stuff, it ended up being Corey Graves picking up victory against the participant for the open challenge, which was Finn Balor. Graves picked up a victory, and before the pay-per-view, he actually debuted and had a successful victory against Dean Ambrose. So Graves, he's been unstoppable since his debut back in week 12, week 13. And Michaels, some way, somehow nails that dropkick. I don't know how, but he did. Against Xavier Woods. Big E, of course, not the league man. Okay, what? Michaels just bringing Triple H back inside of... What? Okay. Of course, Michaels and Triple H, they weren't on good terms for the beginning of the viewers month. For example, Triple H, he walked out on Michaels. He did walk out on Michaels before the No Surrender pay-per-view. And Shawn Michaels, he did do something to Triple H. I think Michaels walked out on Triple H the week after. I didn't know Michaels did something else to Triple H or something like that. Or Triple H walked out on Michaels again during the tag team matchup to set them up for, No Surrender. And well, stuff happened, but then after that, they were able to put whatever they had aside. They won the SmackDown Tag Titles, and ever since then, well, they have still been SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They hadn't been all that important to SmackDown, let's be honest here. If anything, the talents that are showcased mostly on SmackDown are mostly World Title and United States Championship and Women's stuff. Tag Team and Cruiserweight Title has been showcased all that much, but, it's getting there. So the tag titles, somewhat forgotten here on SmackDown. But anyway, Big E, Dragon Screw here. Of course, The New Day. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. And of course, some other tag teams here on SmackDown. So SmackDown, they do have a talented, showcase of tag teams. They do have a more talented one compared to Raw or ECW. Or, Raw, they could be more talented. But Raw, ECW, and SmackDown, they do have a great tag team division. But, not all of them are getting, the opportunities that they so rightfully deserve. Anyway, Michaels somehow catches Xavier Woods with a neckbreaker. Sweet chin music, but Michaels to Big E. Stomps him down now. Xavier Woods, of course, could easily break it up if he wanted to. If Michaels did want to go for a pin. Sweet chin music out of nowhere. Figure 4 lock by Michaels. Xavier Woods gonna break it up here. The knee drop. And now, double team backbreaker by both Triple H and Shawn Michaels to Xavier Woods here. Michaels, sweet chin music sends Big E flying. And now, what's Michaels doing here? Has him up. Teardrop suplex. Nope, it's a rope break. Well, Michaels hitting one of his other best maneuvers. Switch music, then after that, followed up with a teardrop suplex. If Michaels was to do it away from the ropes, that we could easily have DX retain the tag titles here tonight at SummerSlam. And now Big E trying to think of something here, just had him up. And well, Big E again sent flying. Cody Kingston not ringside here. Michaels with the elbow drop, signature elbow drop to Big E. Michaels, of course, an amazing competitor. He did have a matchup against Kevin Owens back in week 9. Of course, that's back when Owens had a whole program for Hideo Itami. And now this glitch. Oh, I hate this. Because now Michaels is just going to go all the way. He's going to be going all the way to this, like so. Big E, break it up, please. Okay, kayfabe is broken here. Kayfabe is broken. Kayfabe is already dead, to be fair. Finally, Michaels makes it to the end of that, though. I hate that glitch. Anyway, Big E, flying close down to Michaels. How devastating. Sarcasm. Alright then. That happened. Well, might as well announce the rest of the SummerSlam card. Of course, if you guys did watch the match card, you guys will already know the match card will. Of course, you guys will already know what happens here. The rest of this after everything else. But anyway, Snap Mirror by Michaels to Xavier Woods. Well, anyway, after we have Balor versus Graves, which is after this matchup, we shall have Raw Women's Championship, vacant Raw Women's title. Of course, Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, they won their respective triple threats. The two winners of those two triple threat matches faced off against each other for the Raw Women's Championship, which was an announcement made by General Manager Eric Bischoff. He did make a good decision for once, because of course he has been known to be biased towards some wrestlers. He hasn't really been biased all that much. He hasn't been showing up all that much. Well, anyway, after that one, SmackDown Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss, she defends it against Naomi. Now this has some interesting storytelling. Of course, we did have Bliss win the whole whatever triple threat against Mickie James and Carmella, and then after that, and that was for the SmackDown Women's Championship, vacant, of course. Then after that, Bliss called Carmella a lackluster competitor. There, not difficult to say. So then after that, Carmella took offense to that, something like that, and some way somehow Naomi won the number one contenders matchup, and now Carmella some way somehow is in the picture as well. She has defeated Naomi, and she has defeated Alexa Bliss in a non-title contest as well. So basically, for the next episode of SmackDown after SummerSlam, whoever wins the SmackDown Women's Championship later on tonight, whether if it's Naomi or Bliss, they defend it against Carmella in SmackDown Week 21, which is the next episode. So that's interesting. And then we got the Hardcore Tell, Kenny Omega defense versus Wade Barrett. Chris Sabin defends the Intercontinental Championship against his tag team partner Alex Shelley. And then after that, the final three matches, Easter Towel, Dirty Towel, War Towel, where we know that. Okay, there you go. I'm trying to waste as much time as I could because I really don't want to commentate this SmackDown Tag Title matchup. I'm being completely honest. Anyway, Xavier Woods will stay pro here against Michaels. And now wrenching the back knee across the back, perhaps. Triple H perhaps going to make the save here. And yes, he does with a double axe handle. Big E on top of the rope here. Well, Michaels and Triple H are both far away. Anyway, now Triple H just sending Big E off. Now Xavier Woods here has Michaels German suplex with the bridge against Michaels. Triple H, is he going to save it? 2 and a 3 count. We got new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Okay, I'm going to first off begin the next sentence with this. That was unexpected. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to a New Day. They defeat the almost unstoppable DX here tonight at SummerSlam. New SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Okay, that match is now finally over with. Good, now we can actually get on into the matches that I care about. First two matches, I'm not gonna lie, don't care about. Now we get on to the rest of the card, and the rest of the card I do care about. ECW, time for them to showcase talents. Finn Balor, Corey Graves, that matchup is right now. As ladies and gentlemen, Corey Graves already in the ring, and now it's time for this man. Finn Balor is here at SummerSlam. And will Balor not coming out in any demon attire? Ladies and gentlemen, Balor, of course, when he's known as the demon, he goes to just a completely different persona. Luckily enough for Corey Graves, Balor now unleashing the demon here tonight, but Graves immediately with a nice head start here against Balor. Upper hand so far, very early on in the matchup, let's see there, Balor trying to get the upper hand here, but Graves just taking him down. Corey Graves has been an amazing competitor ever since coming to ECW. He debuted in like week 13, week 12. Against Dean Ambrose, had a successful victory against Ambrose. Ever since then, he's been pretty good. He's had multiple 1-1 matches with Balor, in which Graves has won the majority of. It's been a good career so far here in ECW. Fourth, Corey Graves, I see right there, Balor with the just flaming knife. Luckily enough, that's not actually going to kill no one in this game. Give or take is a good or bad thing, I don't know. Balor, a very close 2 count there. We almost had a very quick matchup there. Balor with the upper hand here, of course, Finn, he is livid because, well, he has been having the greatest of careers here in ECW, let's say the least. Balor, he was in the 4-man ECW title tournament in the beginning of Universe Mode. He lost to Raven, and then Raven won the finals, of course, against Baron Corbin. Or Corbin won against Raven, won the R's, because then they switched titles. Well, Raven won it, right? So, yeah, and of course, Ambrose and Balor, first to eliminate it. And so, after that, we had Balor, have a rivalry with Braun Strowman, in which he did lose to Strowman. In every matchup Balor has faced Strowman in, Balor has gone squashed, give or take. He's gone squashed in all his matches against Strowman. And then after that, after the rivalry, Balor had nowhere else to go to do here in ECW. So then he's had multiple one-on-one matches against multiple just random superstars. Some include Chris Jericho, some include Jerry Lynn, and some other random superstars here in ECW. And well, Balor, he won all those other matches. And then after that, Corey Graves came along, debuted, had a successful debut against Dean Ambrose, had an impromptu matchup that he begged Paul Heyman for at the Sin ECW exclusive pay-per-view. And the open challenge competitor was Finn Balor. Balor lost to Graves. They've been having multiple one-on-one matches ever since. Corey Graves has give or take one more of them than Balor. And now the final climax between these two, Finn Balor and Corey Graves at SummerSlam. I just explained the whole rivalry. Wow, okay, that was difficult. I don't know how I remembered all of that, but hey, I did. And I feel accomplished now. Anyway, Balor, after missing dropkick there, Graves holding on to his face. He doesn't even know where he's at, perhaps. And now Finn gets caught by Graves. Body slam to the outside by Corey Graves. Graves, of course, targets one part of the body and then stays targeting that for a very long period of time, like he did in Ambrose in his debut. And now Graves is sending Balor flying with the monkey flip, but now Finn getting the upper hand here off of Graves, just tripping, I think. And now Hurricane Rana to the outside by Finn Balor. Balor now with a hot streak here. The crowd is behind Balor. Definitely a fan favorite here in ECW. Hasn't had the best ECW career, like I said, but looking to change all of that. He did have great one-on-one matches though. And now Finn on top of the rope. Coup de grace. I know it's just a double knee stomp, but since the double foot stomp is not in the game, just pretend that's coup de grace too. And Graves has kicked out of the coup de grace. Once again, pretend that's the coup de grace. The double foot stomp is not in the game, so that's the best option we have, okay? Okay, thank you. Anyway, Boston Crab here by Balor to Corey Graves. Just wrenching back and forth here against Graves. Corey, if he has to tap, well, then this brings in a questionable type situation here to ask if why Graves has tapped out, because Graves, he's been dominant. But Finn wrenching back and forth here. If Graves does tap out, well then, who knows? But now Corey able to escape. And now mounted punches, ground and pound Finn able to reverse it with a chokehold here. Wrenching back and forth on Graves once again. Now Graves countering with a chokehold of his own. And now Finn countering once again, this time a ground and pound. Answering back to when Graves did ground and pound a couple of seconds back in the middle of the solo transition. Misses the missile drop kick, but now Graves went for a super kick there, gets kicked midway through his own super kick. And now Finn has the knife here. Oh man, Corey Graves, runs right into the shot with the knife. Finn Balor, and that's a 3 count, ladies and gentlemen. Questionable and a controversial victory here. Finn with the knife just got Graves against the shoulder blade? Face? I don't even know. I think that was Graves, he ran into that one. Finn Balor picks up the victory here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus. Okay then. That happened. Wow. That was something. Anyway, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. 4th matchup, Raw's matchup. Vacant Raw Women's Championship. Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch. Listen, that matchup is right now.